Identified. Investigators from the Bay City Department of Public Safety have said the body belonged to 47-year-old Ronaldo Luis Lopez from Saginaw. Police say an autopsy conducted Wednesday showed no signs of trauma, and toxicology tests will be conducted to help ascertain a cause of death. Anyone with information about the incident or about Ronaldo are asked to call the Bay City Department of Public Safety Detective Bureau 989-894-0161 or download the P3 mobile app or visit p3tips.com. Two students from the Saginaw Arts and Sciences Academy have received national academic awards. The students, Demaya Barlow and Brianna Santoya, were given national recognition by the College Board, the organization that oversees the SAT and advanced placement courses. According to Saginaw Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Ramont Roberts, minority participation in AP and honor classes is down.
So anytime we see our students doing well in those exams, being recognized for it, it's testament to our school system, but to Saginaw Arts and Sciences Academy, Ms. Reed and her staff, and certainly the students and their families for their hard work.
The national recognition programs for minority students who maintain a 3.5 or higher GPA, and in the case of Barlow and Santoya, successfully passed 2 or more advanced placement exams. WSGW News Time, 9:07.
Steve, were you at paintball again?
Maybe.
What now?
Well, winter is right around the corner.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And they'll be spreading road salt, which is going to make your car rust.
Yeah?
Well, I took your car to paintball to get it rust-proofed, so it won't rust.
Paintball does rust-proofing? I thought they were just a body shop.
No, they do all kinds of car stuff, even detailing to clean up the chili I spilled.
What?
Gotta go.
Protect your car with rust-proofing and undercoating from Paintball on Bay Road in Saginaw. We're more than a body shop. Visit paintballrepair.com.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AA Wealth Management, LLC.
WSGW News Time, 9:08. The weather forecast is next. 3 people were rescued from Lake Michigan when their sailboat flipped over in high waves. The Ottawa County Sheriff's Department says it happened just before 6 p.m. yesterday out of Park Township near Holland. The 3 people on board the Hobocat sailboat were wearing life jackets, and one was able to call family members to tell first responders where they were. The Sheriff's Department says the 3 were rescued from the water and treated for mild hypothermia. Deputies say the high wind and waves created extremely dangerous lake conditions. An Eastern Michigan University official is due in court today after getting arrested for indecent exposure. Here's Jim Matthews with this report.
62-year-old Michael II of Dearborn was arrested September 7th after investigations into reports of a naked man seen driving a Jeep in Dearborn on Labor Day while pleasuring himself. II has been charged with 1 felony count of indecent exposure and being a sexually delinquent person. He's an associate provost and associate vice president at EMU and has been suspended indefinitely, pending the outcome of the investigation and legal proceedings. EMU officials say II is not permitted to come to campus during the suspension, and they're not aware of any inappropriate conduct or actions at the school. Today's court proceeding is a probable cause conference with a preliminary examination set for September 30th. Jim Matthews, Michigan News Network.
It's called Project Elephant, and involves a Chinese company planning to build a new battery plant near Big Rapids. Goshen Incorporated is seeking tax breaks from local and state leaders. A meeting is planned for Monday night in Mecosta County. The Detroit News says Goshen is planning to spend $2.4 billion for a plant which will be built near the Big Rapids Airport. The project is expected to lead as many as 2,000 jobs over the next several years. WSGW News Time, 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Sunny for today. Highs top out near 64 degrees. Winds west around 5 miles per hour. Tonight it becomes mostly cloudy. Lows drop to 48. Winds turn to the south-southeast around 5 miles per hour. Saturday it remains mostly cloudy. Chance for showers developing or building into the area by afternoon. Highs head back to 64. Winds south around 5 miles per hour. Saturday night, shower chances continue mainly before midnight, otherwise still mostly cloudy. Winds will be light, lows fall back to 53. And then a chance for afternoon showers again on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Right now it's 43.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, the Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good. Well, that's not working. Why is that? Uh-oh. Now I know why it didn't work. I've been too long out of the studio, friends. Good morning and welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show. And we are here at the station this morning in our kitchen, our premier kitchen and bath gallery studios, rather than at home. I came in on purpose this morning, mainly because of the guests I'm faced with for the next 2 hours. This hour, sitting before me, is the boss, the king, the big kahuna, Claybird from
that's me
from 106.3 Core, which we're going to talk about this morning, but I kid. Also here this morning is our general manager, the market manager for Alpha Media in Saginaw and mid Michigan area, Mark Thomas.
Well, thank you, Art.
Oh, you're welcome. And just a reminder, you're in my court now.
No, you've made that very clear.
Well, I think you're going to learn, folks, in listening to us this morning. This is a great place to work, and part of the reason is because of Mark. You do agree, Clay, right? You like your job. You do agree.
Oh yeah,
Good.
absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're off on a good start.
Yeah.
Then.
It is payday today. You know that, right?
Oh,
okay.
it is.
Yeah.
Really?
That is what my cue sheet said. It said agree that. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I've been in radio longer than both of you, but over the years of my service to this industry, I've seen many, many, many changes. Change is inevitable. And we're going to talk about that in the 2 hours ahead, because we're going to talk about a change to one of our sister stations that Claybird is with, 106.3 Core. And later on, after the 10 o'clock news, we're going to talk to Ann Willams, who is retiring. And that is a change to our air sound, of course. So that is what is ahead this morning. So, Mark, let's start with you, because you have had to master the art of change in your career.
Sure.
What brought it about here at 106.3, which is you was the mix 106.3? Yep. You've decided to make a format change. What brought all this about?
Well, with Mix 106.3, we had a station that just was not performing as well as what we hoped. We had changed morning shows on the station a couple of years ago to a program called Brook and Jubal.
Right.
And boy, it was met with some real positive success in its first year on the air. And unfortunately, Jubal, who was kind of the lead of that morning show, decided to go elsewhere. And as a result, we saw the ratings decline. And then we started to evaluate where we felt like there would be a hole in the market, where the market was, if you will, underserved, in a particular way. And in going through and evaluating that, what we found is that there were a lot more radio stations that were targeting female audiences than there were male audiences. And that specifically within the rock genre, that, there was 2 rock stations, and we felt like there was a place that kind of existed for us to be able to start a new rock station that wasn't being served in the marketplace. And we were fortunate enough to be able to team with the most successful rock programming consultants in the country. It's a company by the name of Jacobs Media.
And they happen to be out of Detroit.
Happened to
sitting in
be
your
out of
backyard.
Detroit, yeah, which was real positive. And also by coincidence, years ago, I was an intern at WRAF, and both Fred and Paul Jacobs were employees of the station at that point. Fred was the program director of WRAF, and Paul was an account executive. And so these are guys that I've known for, many, many years, and really to have the opportunity to work with them to put this product on the air. It's like any other business or any other product. If you have great people behind you, it's amazing how much easier the whole process is.
I have to chuckle a little bit. I met Paul up at the Hall of Fame induction, and I just kind of chuckle because these are two of the leading rock purveyors in the country. These aren't spring chickens. These are not you wouldn't look at these guys and say, "Oh, they're the rock experts." You know?
No, exactly. Well, it's catching up to all of us, Art.
You think? You think? I mean, when I hear the Beatles and I know that I played it when it was brand new and I was on the air, yeah.
So no, we're really excited about the station and have received a great response to having it on the air since what was that, on Tuesday?
Yeah. So Claiborne, let's describe this music format. How would you describe it?
That's a really good question, and I've been trying to figure that out myself. And I heard, speaking of the Jacobs brothers, Paul had a really good, I think he hit the nail on the head, because it's not active rock and it's not classic rock, but something that you could call it is classic rock for Gen. What's the Gen?
Gen X.
Gen X.
Yeah.
I get confused on all the gens. Gen Z, Gen X, Gen Y. I don't know. I just know I'm a millennial.
See, I go back far enough. It was rock, and then there was other stuff.
Yeah.
Now we got this kind of rock, that kind of rock, this kind of rock.
Right. Yeah. So we're really hyper focused on the 90s and the early 2000s, the rock and alternative music from that era. Because as you both mentioned, we're all aging, and with the classic,
not me.
everyone except you. And at this point now, it's like if you were to look at your classic rock and ask yourself who you're, catering to, everyone loves to throw out the numbers, 25, 54 males, 25, 54. Well, the people that are 25, 54 now, they grew up listening to the music that we're playing. So we're stepping in to serve that role, and I think we've got a positive response. And
the target's actually narrower than that 25 to 54.
Oh, absolutely. Right. It's a 35-44 male.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess in layman's terms, what you may say is that we're trying to appeal to the dads out there.
Yep.
The dads that have new forming households, and really what part of the idea with this is that the dad of today is much different than the dad of even 20 or 30 years ago. More than likely, you're in a household with two folks working. Dad's helping out with the laundry and helping out with the grocery shopping and taking care of the kids. And so the traditional role of the woman as the only person in the household who's buying anything is, really changed dramatically. And so marketers are more and more looking for men who are in these positions of decision making. And as consumers, men are great customers to reach because we tend not to care about price. We tend to care about convenience, and we like new shiny things. And those are all things that business people love to sell us.
That's a really good way to put it.
Okay. All right, guys, hang on. As you know, this is radio, and if I don't do this, Mark will be very mad at me.
Absolutely.
I have to make some money. So we'll take a break and be back. I want to talk to you about my friends at Thalen Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Bay City. If you're looking for one of those new vehicles, let me suggest you stop by and visit the Thalen folks, or go online to thinkthalen.com. They do have new vehicles on the ground, and they have lots more arriving all the time. You can go to thinkthalen.com, take a look at what they have, put your name on one of them, and lo and behold, you'll be driving one of those new vehicles. Or if you're looking to move up into a pre-owned vehicle that's newer than the one you're driving now, remember this, all the Thalen dealerships are side by side on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City, and they have put all the used vehicles on their lots. You literally see the largest selection of used vehicles in the Great Lakes Bay region. You can do it online at thinkthalen.com, Or you can stop into those dealerships on North Euclid Avenue, sit down with a Thalen representative, make the best deal on the car you'd like, and drive away with it today. That's how it works. It's simple. Thalen, they have been serving your automotive needs for 45 years. The Thalen Auto Group on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Online, thinkthalen.com.
Are you in the market for a new home, but saving enough for a down payment is holding you back? Members First Credit Union is offering a budget-minded mortgage solution that requires no down payment. No money down means you have the flexibility to buy a home without cash and finance up to 100% of the purchase price. To learn more about a no money down mortgage from Members First Credit Union, visit mfcu.net. All loans subject to credit approval. Equal housing opportunity lender.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From the very beginning, and every workday since, at every shift and every individual effort, we carry a common purpose, a common cause. It's a duty we proudly honor, knowing behind every product we build is your faith in us, dedicated to the craft of gun making, dedicated to your freedom, equality, security, and the promise of this great country. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans. Learn more at smith-wesson.com.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
We're seeing a loss of more than 1% in the pre-market for all major benchmarks here in the U.S. as investors fret over the Fed's latest interest rate hike and possible recession worries. Football fans won't be hearing this anymore.
The National Football League welcomes you to the Pepsi Super Bowl 56 halftime show.
The National Football League saying Apple Music will now take over as a sponsor of its halftime show, replacing Pepsi as a key backer of the annual show. And some holdouts in Asia are opening their borders after tight pandemic controls. Hong Kong today saying it would abandon mandatory hotel quarantine for people coming to the city starting next week. Following a similar move by Taiwan, Japan says it'll drop its daily limit on arrivals. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Smart businesses are always looking for ways to improve. Better workdays can start with Cintas. Your dedicated Cintas service reps help make sure you have what you need when you need it. We'll stock your essential cleaning products, deliver hygienically clean workwear, inspect your fire extinguishers, and provide first aid and safety supplies. Cintas is with you every step of the way, so you stay a step ahead. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of with Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON info.com.
Art Lewis here for WSGW, inviting you to explore America's last frontier, Alaska, from August 30th to September 10th, 2023. You'll fly from Detroit to Fairbanks for a start of a 12-day land and sea adventure. Ride the stern wheel of discovery as you learn about Alaska's diverse culture and rich history. Then it's on to Denali National Park for a tundra wilderness tour. From Denali, you ride a luxury dome rail car to Talkeetna and stay at Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. The next day finds you driving to Whittier to board Holland America's New Amsterdam for a 7-night cruise. You'll see Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay, plus stops in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan before sailing the inside passage to your final destination of Vancouver, BC. Past experience tells us this will sell out fast. To find out more, plan on attending a Zoom meeting with Colette Vacations Ed McKenna on October 5th at 3:30 p.m. Send me an email to receive the Zoom link. Send your request to artlewis@wsgw.com. If you can't make the Zoom meeting, send your address and I'll forward a brochure to you. Send now to artlewis@wsgw.com. Alaska is calling. All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show for a Friday morning from our Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery studios. And I'm chatting with our general manager, Mark Thomas, and from our sister station, 106.3, The Core, Claybird.
Yes.
How do we come up with that name?
You know, I'm glad that you asked, Art, because we don't
Me
have...
too, because I didn't want to talk for the whole hour.
I've been asked this question. Mark and I have both been asked this question a million times. And we brainstormed probably every name under the sun. And it got to a point where we got it narrowed down to about 5 that we thought were really good and landed on The Core. And the meaning of it is it's an easy to remember 4-letter word that sounds like it has rock meaning.
That's interesting. I certainly agree with the 4-letter word part, and it's easy to remember. I mean, you know, if nothing else. I mean, who really cares if it means anything?
Yeah,
I guess.
What does anything mean? I mean, you look at all of our phones. Who would think that one of the main technology and phone companies in the world would be called Apple? Why? Where'd that come from?
Yeah.
You know, what
came
is
from the mind of Steve Jobs?
Exactly.
Came from.
and Core came from the mind of us. So.
Well, and you know, as with most things in business, there's legalities, and there were a number of names that we came across that were service marked, and so as a result, you have to pay the owner to use the name, and so obviously that helped us motivate us to be more creative. But yeah, we came up with names like one of my favorites was the Rooster. But our feeling was that would give it more of a country sound, and it wouldn't be so. You know, it's funny as you go through names. We would get excited. We would tell people we thought we had it figured out, and then it, you know, went back the other way.
There's an interesting question here. This didn't happen overnight. You know, I hear you guys saying, "Oh, we went back and forth. We talked. We did this." From the time it was decided that 106.3 needed a refreshment, how long did it take to actually put it on the air? And I think this is something people are interested in because, you know, it doesn't happen with a flick of a switch.
No, I think probably, 6 months?
Conservatively.
Yeah. I mean, our original launch date was July 4th. And then going through contracts, you know, we had mentioned Jacobs Media earlier. Originally, we had submitted a contract for us to work with them, and then Alpha Media decided they wanted to work with them on a corporate level, which is fabulous.
Yeah,
and
great. But that caused
another month and a half of delay as we waited for the contract to get renegotiated. And then really part of what ended up holding everything up is we have a new morning show that's going to be starting on the station on October 10th. And that the availability of that morning show kept getting delayed because we are the first station in the country outside of their own ownership group where they'll syndicate the program. And it's called Dave and Chuck the Freak.
I was going to ask.
Out of WRAF in Detroit, top rated morning show down there. And
so the show's going, you know, in the industry, we said the show's going up on the bird, right?
Yep, absolutely. But it's nice where, our obvious proximity and relationship with the Detroit area, and so many folks here being from there and or having relatives, or it's all the same region, to be able to draw in a major market Detroit successful morning show, we really feel is a coup.
Is this a show promoted by the Jacobs Group too, or
yeah,
not?
Jacobs Media has worked with WRAF almost continually. So yeah, there's an association there. And again, by coincidence, one of the members of the show is somebody that I had previously worked with in Grand Rapids at WGRD. And so it's amazing how small the world gets to be, particularly when you're dealing in the same region.
So Claybird, what does it take to change the format from an operational standpoint? How much work was there for you to put new music on the air? You're going to have a new morning show, plus what you do yourselves in studio.
Right. Yeah. To answer the question, it's a lot of work. You have to first put together the playlist that you're going to have on the air. Then you have to find those songs, which is, when you're finding new songs, you just go in your inbox. They're sent to you now. Finding older songs is a little bit more difficult. So we were able to outsource from some of our other alpha rock stations across the country. So getting that put together was quite extensive. And then obviously entering all of the data with those songs into, our scheduling system and then into Wide Orbit, took a lot. Building the clocks.
Nobody knows what Wide Orbit is. Tell them.
The Wide Orbit is our it's our automation system. So if you've ever been in this studio with Art Lewis, it's the screens that we look at that tell us what time it is and what song's playing or what cart is coming up.
The stack in the computer. Yeah.
All the radio nerdy stuff.
Yep.
And then building, the clocks, how the music falls, where the commercials come in, and then you hire on your voice person who, talks in between the songs, and you send them copy and they send it back and you get it produced and you put that in. So from an operational standpoint, all of that stuff, doesn't happen overnight, and it takes quite a while. So that was the biggest, amount of legwork that needed to be put in to have it be on the air.
Yeah, it seems to me, and just looking at my career, it's the most work.
Yeah.
But it's probably also the most fun.
It is fun.
It is part of the exercise of being in radio, isn't it?
Yeah, it is fun. Whenever I get, and I'm sure you have done the same thing throughout your career, whenever I get stressed out or have like one of those days, where everything seems to be going wrong, you've got a super full plate and you get stressed out and you're like,
I don't do that by the day. I do that by the hour.
But then I have to step outside of myself and remind myself, hey man, you're working in radio.
Yeah.
Like you could be doing something different. You could be like, you're okay. It's not the end of the world. Just relax. You're playing radio, as Mark likes to say.
No. Well, and I tell you, it's a real privilege to be able to create a radio station. It doesn't happen too often. I think the last format change in our market is when Johnny Burke left, or was asked to leave, however one would phrase that. And there was a big change at WHNN. And so that was, 12, 15 years ago, maybe?
I don't know if it was that long, but it was a while back.
A while back. So, I've been privileged to be able to do a few different changes. Club 93.7 is a station out of Flint that reaches into our market. And I was a part of putting that whole thing together when I was a general manager down there. And it's something that it's equivalent of having a radio child, if you will, that you are able to leave your mark on.
I must admit, in the stations that I've worked on, there's 5 stations in this building, but I've always worked on the SGW stations. We've never had a format change, but we've had program changes.
Sure.
Where programs that I was involved in for years, listen to the missus.
Yep.
Time came, it was time to move on.
Whose idea was, sorry.
You got an elbow, you hit the elbow.
Where's the mute button?
Oh, goodness.
Okay, you brought it up. We'll talk more about it.
But no, it's as you had mentioned earlier, Art, it's just inevitable that you have to, in our industry and probably most industries, if not all, you have to evolve. You have to stay with where the changes are and find the next opportunity to be able to grow your business.
Well, people, I think people have to realize, and you mentioned growing the business. This is a business. It's
Absolutely.
a bottom line driven business. Requires an audience because that's what you're selling.
Yep, absolutely.
So you have to find those formats that appeal to the people you're targeting, and you target people depending on who's buying what in the industry.
Absolutely.
It's a never-ending battle, and it's also a changing battle. Just about the time you decide what you're going after, something else comes along, and there you are.
Well, and the pandemic really had a big impact on, the businesses that we do business with. The automotive business is a great example of, the way it advertised and existed prior to the pandemic versus today with, supply shortages and the like is really night and day.
All right, let me make you real happy and make a little money, and then we'll be back.
The Michigan Antique Festival and Vintage Market is back. This Saturday and Sunday, September 24th and 25th, the Midland County Fairgrounds will feature 80 acres of treasures and memories ready for you to explore. High-quality dealers selling antiques, collectibles, crafts, coins, sports memorabilia, vintage jewelry, and just cool stuff that you won't find anywhere else. Check out the Taste of Michigan building with unique treats from all across the state. And car collectors, or would-be car collectors, bring your classic car or shop for one at our for sale lot. The Midland Antique Festival features one of Michigan's longest-running car shows. The first 300 cars get a dash plaque. Looking for car parts or outdoor power toys? Visit the huge swap meet. Nearly 1,000 antique dealers will be at the fairgrounds. So should you. Admission is just $10. Parking is free. Children 11 and under are free. If you're looking for a unique event that has something for everyone, be sure to check out the Michigan Antique Festival at the Midland Fairgrounds September 24th and 25th. Visit miantiquefestival.com.
Prices are out of control. Michigan needs leaders like Annette Glenn to rebuild our economy and get Michigan back on track. When historic flooding ravaged our community, Annette Glenn was our champion. She stepped up to serve our families, brought Democrats and Republicans together, delivering millions in critical flood relief, restoring our community. Annette works with both parties to get results for Mid-Michigan, and she always works for us, not the special interests. That's why Annette Glenn is fighting to slash the wasteful spending and stop inflation, cut taxes for working families and small businesses. And Annette will continue to support every child's right to a safe, quality education. Annette Glenn for State Senate, working hard for hard-working families. Paid for with regulated funds by the Senate Republican Campaign Committee, authorized by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
Your WSGW online poll about healthcare in America, the poll from the Associated Press and ORC Center for Public Affairs Research. A majority of adults say healthcare is not handled well in these United States.
Oh, really?
Breaking news
Amazing.
there.
Wow. How did they arrive at that conclusion?
And this includes access to doctors, clinics, hospitals, healthcare for older adults, costs overall. Specifically, prescription costs were involved in this poll too. And the solutions were pretty general. Needing more federal government involvement, needing more private involvement, or needing more of a mix of both. Essentially, a lot of what's already happening today, isn't it? You'd say so? So the poll question is basic. What would you say about healthcare and how it's handled in America? Would you say it's handled well? Would you say it's handled poorly? Or do you think, it's handled good in some ways, but bad in the others? We want you to vote. You head to WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, and make your vote that way.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW. Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
Hi, we're back with you. I have to remind myself it is the Art Lewis Show, even though our general manager is in the studio, Mark Thomas, and Clay Bird, who is the program director of 106.3, The Core.
The Core.
Yeah, The Core. It's a new format on that station. And what's been the reaction so far?
Clay? The reaction has been really good. Obviously, with any change, you're going to have people that you've never seen or heard from before come out to give their opinion as well. But the overall reaction has been really good. People are liking the music that we're playing. People are liking hearing that we're having fun. And that's what I'm choosing to focus on.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, you can sit back for a little bit, Clay, while I pick the brains of the boss.
Pick it.
All right. What's the health of the radio industry these days?
Boy, the radio industry has for a number of years now been trying to find how does it adapt to a changing world. If you look back 20 or 30 years ago, and again, as you mentioned earlier, we're a business, and the majority of the money in advertising used to go to newspapers. One moment, please.
One moment, please.
Used to go to newspaper, and then behind that was television, and then radio came in somewhere after that. Today, over 60% of all advertising revenue goes to digital or social. So the whole equation has gotten moved around. And part of our business today includes where we sell digital solutions and resources and social media and the like. And that represents about 15% of our business today with and is the increasing, part of our business. But as a result, that means that the radio advertising revenues that we generate have been on a slow decline, and we've had to find creative ways to make up for that. You look at programs like Rocket Grab are ways that we've found to be able to generate advertising revenue that are non-traditional. And so the industry is solid. At the same time, unless you go out and find some creative ways to grow it, it doesn't grow on its own. But over 90% of the population on a weekly basis tune into AM/FM commercial radio, and we are the number one reach medium above network television today.
When I did my Hall of Fame acceptance, I said in my little address that I thought radio was the most stable of the legacy media.
Mm-hmm.
Was that close to true?
Yeah, I believe so, because you look at television and Hulu and all the different sources of available content and everything, and it's a crazy area. So I would agree with that statement. And like I say, network television always traditionally was the biggest reach medium in the country, but today it's radio, and we continue to be able to hang on to that.
Cover Clay's ears for a minute,
Sure.
Because the other competitive thing out there, and every now and then you have to recognize there is competition.
Sure.
The one thing I love about the SGW format is you can't find it anywhere else.
Right.
You can't go to an alternative source as you can for music and other things. Local talk, local news is local.
Yep.
You only find it here.
Exactly.
And I love that.
No, it's, and really, even with what we're looking at with the morning show, that is a 4.5 hour program that has no music. It is all talk. And again, is it local here in the Bay region? No, but it's local out of Detroit. So from a statewide or regional basis, it's pretty darn close. But to your point, if you're just a jukebox, as we like to say in the business, boy, your station could be in danger. We also always have to be smart enough to be looking, as we did in this case, to where is the audience availability? How do you change the format to address it? And as with most things in life, there's a risk reward that's involved in it. But boy, is it fun to try to figure out and put together, and can't wait to see how this equation works out for us.
All right. We'll be right back with more here on the Art Lewis Show.
Herman Hisson Company is hosting its annual estate buying event September 21st through the 24th. Certified experts will be in store to give you a verbal appraisal and help liquidate your inherited or unwanted items. Immediate payment when you bring in your valuables. Bring in your gold or platinum jewelry, name brand watches, sterling silver hollowware, silverware, even diamonds over a half a carat. This is your opportunity for some extra spending cash. Herman Hisson Company in downtown Bay City, serving the Great Lakes Bay region for over 150 years.
Hello, this is Carol Thomas, and I have my seminars coming up in Bay City on Wednesday, September 28th. They're going to be at the Courtyard by Marriott. I love presenting my seminars. There's so much information that people need to know. And the biggest comment I get after my seminars is I had no idea there was so much to learn. And honestly, I don't know where else people would get the information necessary to know, how do I protect my assets if I ever need a long-term care? How do I protect my assets if I ever need nursing home? What if my husband has a stroke and goes into a nursing home? Are we prepared to lose our life savings? I have been presenting seminars for over 20 years, and they always filled a capacity. And I think that's because people love the information that I'm able to present at the seminars. I talk about wills and trusts, the importance of them to get assets protected if you ever need nursing home care. Please call my office at 989-793-2300 to make a reservation. I promise you, you will not be disappointed if you come to one of my seminars.
Carol has added a noon seminar, so space is available for noon and 5 p.m.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
All right, we're back in the minutes remaining with me, Mark Thomas, our market manager, general manager here at Alpha Media Saginaw, and also from our sister station 106.3 The Core. Jay Claybird is with us. I said Jay. Claybird is with us.
Claybird. I'll answer to whatever.
So the new format started Tuesday.
Yep, at noon.
Off and running. And the new morning show starts when? The 10th, is that right?
October 10th. Yep.
And what next, Mark? No, I'm afraid to ask.
Yeah, I think we'll settle down for a while here. And I mean, there's still many elements. As much as we have the station up and running, it's boy, I guess just a kind of a continuation. Once you get it going, then you figure out what else you can do with it: promotions, other on-air opportunities, and continue to build the brand.
Well, it's it adds excitement to the building. I think that's, and of course I'm saying that I'm sitting here in the building for the first time and I don't know how long, but it's always fun in this business to have new challenges and to move ahead with new things. You can get stale otherwise.
No, it is. I think that's part of the responsibility that we have, is to really keep an eye on our stations. And sometimes it's evolution, sometimes it's revolution, but that you make sure that you're serving the community and its listeners as well as possible.
Well, we should point out our other stations in the building are doing that too. Yvonne Daniels sitting down there at KISS, really involved in the community.
Absolutely.
The stations involved in the community. And of course, for country, we've got our 94.5 sitting down there and doing their thing.
Yeah, and Joby does a great job.
Joby does a great job with the Moose, and and here we sit with our SGWs, AM and FM.
Absolutely,
and we've been involved in the community ever since I've been here. I came in '74, and can't remember a time when the stations haven't been involved one way or another in the community.
Well, and what's cool about our business is that work you do because it's the right thing to do to be involved in the community is also the same thing you need to be doing to grow your station, to be a part of the audience and attract people. So if you do the right thing, you get rewarded for it. And boy, that's nice when it works out that way.
And, and there is something to be said about the corporate mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what I mean by that. The stations have been involved in the community. People probably do not realize this. Well, they wouldn't unless they worked here. We can get paid for volunteer time.
Absolutely.
We can get paid to take off and volunteer in the community.
Yeah.
That's how much the company thinks of the communities they serve.
Yeah, we work for a great company, and not to get too in the weeds, but from a business standpoint,
go ahead.
it is it's the company believes that the best decisions are made at a local market level. And in the corporate world, and specifically with radio, many companies really, it's the opposite of that. They decide in an ivory tower, and that's sent down to the market. And for people like me, their job is to implement the corporate agenda. I'm blessed. I get to help to create an agenda. And as in this case, we took our corporation, Jacobs Media, and now they're using it across the company. So we're able to have an impact. Boy, that's fun.
Yeah. I want to touch on one other thing, because next hour we're going to talk to her. One of our longtime associates, Ann Williams, is going to be departing today after many, many years of sitting behind the microphone and being news director. Your thoughts?
Boy, I'm very sad. I wish Ann wasn't leaving, but respect and understand, her decision and everything, her contribution to these stations and just working with her as an individual and a professional. Ann Williams is as good as they get. And, is, I guess, with any team, you hate to lose a team member that you have that kind of like and respect for. So wish Ann the absolute best, and hope that we don't lose touch and everything, because she's just a fine person.
Yeah, and I think, and you could probably relate to this, Clay, I think, too, people have to realize, particularly people in this industry for a long time, and I certainly fit that description, this could be a stressful job.
It can be. Yeah. If you it's all about, and we're all evolving and growing as people all the time. It's one of those things where you have to find ways to manage the stress. Like we kind of touched on it earlier, stepping back and taking a look and being like, hey, this isn't the end of the world here. I've got a pretty good job. I'm working in radio. I'm having fun. I could be doing something else. And just keeping things in perspective is kind of what helps me.
Yeah. All these years, I'm glad it didn't affect me.
I've got something similar happening. Yeah.
Goodness.
Well, Clay, wish you luck with the new format because, what's good for you obviously is good for everybody else in the building too.
Yeah.
We all, this is a team and we all have to succeed for the company to succeed and for all of us to succeed. So we wish you well.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited and excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if we succeed, we keep him around a while.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk, Clay.
We keep the band together.
Boy, appreciate your taking the time and speaking with us this morning. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Glad you volunteered, Mark.
Absolutely. That's a good way to put it.
All right, we'll take our last break, come back and close out this hour of the Art Lewis Show.
Your home is your haven, and the perfect window treatments can make it feel even more special. Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. During the Hunter Douglas Season of Style Savings Event, now through December 5th, save big with rebates on qualifying purchases of gorgeous shades. Duet honeycomb shades provide year-round comfort in the home with an innovative cellular design. Silhouette window shadings filter natural sunlight to create a soft glow. Pirouette window shadings provide endless options for light control. Luminette privacy shades are an ideal choice for sliding glass doors. Don't miss a Season of Style savings event now through December 5th. Also, select Mohawk carpet featuring all pet protection and warranty are on sale now. The only carpet with protection and warranty for all pets and all accidents, providing soft, luxurious, smart strand, forever clean carpet. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room. Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth, celebrating 60 years in business. We'll help you bring it all together.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
News coverage, talk shows on WSGW, the news you trust around the clock. This is CBS News.
Primary day has arrived.
This is WSGW News.
Fire crews responded to a gas leak in Midland this morning.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
Celebrity chef Alton Brown. What is his greatest tip? Read the recipe.
Oh, yes. Follow the directions. Yeah.
Art Lewis. Open phones for the remainder of the hour, whatever you'd like to chat about, 989.
It's the Farm Show with Terry Hinney.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well.
Mark Lee, Van Camp and Robbins.
Unfortunately, we could do this part of news every day.
Sean Hannity.
I care about my country. I care about my family.
It's the Evening Roundup with Ann Williams.
Good evening. I'm Ann Williams. The city of Saginaw wants to hear from
Tom Sullivan.
I don't want you to forget about 1 year ago. I'm not forgetting.
The Ramsey Show.
10 years from now, 20 years from now, which of these decisions are we going to be glad we did?
News coverage, talk shows on WSGW.
All right, that's going to do it for this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. My thanks to our General Manager, Mark Thomas, and Claybird from 106.3 The Core. And coming up, news at the top of the hour. Then we are going to talk to Ann Williams, her last day on the job here at WSGW. That is what is ahead this morning. Stick around. We'll talk to you right after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington. Look out for Tropical Depression 9. It's expected to reach tropical storm strength hitting Florida next week. Meteorologist David Parkinson.
Likely making landfall as a Category 2 or 3 on Wednesday. And then the storm will actually go up the eastern seaboard as well. So a threat all throughout the week as it moves north with large waves and the potential for a landfall anywhere from the Carolinas all the way up through the Northeast.
Meanwhile, Hurricane Fiona is still messing around in Bermuda. CBS's Errol Barnett.
Packing winds at over 100 miles an hour, Hurricane Fiona showed no signs of slowing down as it lashed Bermuda overnight. Before taking aim at the island, the storm prompted warnings yesterday from Bermuda's Minister of National Security.
The storms knocked out power for about 20,000 residents in Bermuda. It's been 7 months since the Russian war in Ukraine began, and now a new report finds human rights violations. Correspondent Cami McCormick.
We found that war crimes were committed in Ukraine.
These are the most extensive findings so far, but the head of the committee looking into allegations calls them preliminary. Still, Eric Mose says there were startling findings in 4 regions of Ukraine.
We were struck by a large number of executions and other violations by Russian forces, and the Commission received consistent accounts of torture and ill treatment.
He also said they found evidence of indiscriminate bombings by the Russians.
A person is barricaded inside a fiery house in Oak Forest, Illinois, about 25 miles outside Chicago. WBBM-TV's Chris Habermel is over the scene.
Residents in the area are advised to shelter in place right now. There are police officers all over ringing this perimeter around this house fire.
You planning on sending something with FedEx?
Let FedEx Office pack and ship your club's luggage and more. FedEx Solutions.
Starting in January, it's raising prices for most services by about 7%. Carbon emissions in the Amazon rainforest have more than doubled in the last 2 years. The BBC's Matt McGrath reports.
Politics is driving this destruction, say scientists, who have linked this recent doubling of emissions to a collapse in the enforcement of laws designed to stop deforestation, a move they believe that's been encouraged by the Brazilian president Jair Bolsonaro.
After more than 1,500 matches, 103 singles titles, and 20 Grand Slams, Roger Federer will take to the court for the final time today. He'll play with Rafael Nadal in a doubles match in London. Wall Street in the red at this hour. The Dow is down 407 points. This is CBS News.
You need to hire fast and hire right? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates efficiently. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
My job as the CNA is to provide care for my residents. I get so passionate sometimes, and some people, they call me Extra Liz because I'm always first to answer the call lights, the first there, and it's a lot of energy. I just try to be grateful that I'm able to spend my time with them, because once I'm there, I try to make it all about them, bad day or not. So you got to put a smile on, because they're always watching.
Join our team today. Visit wellspringlutheran.com.
Dad, I don't feel good.
I'll grab the Vicks DayQuil Kids Honey.
Isn't DayQuil just for parents?
Actually, Vicks DayQuil Kids Honey is just for kids, specially designed to treat kids' most bothersome cold symptoms quickly with a honeylicious tasting flavor kids like.
You know what else kids like?
DayQuil Kids Honey first, then video games.
Deal.
Vicks DayQuil Kids Honey, the kids' honeylicious daytime coughing, congestion, stuffy head, stuffy nose medicine. Safe for ages 6+.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 48 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. A 19-year-old woman has been reported missing from the Flint area. Police say Talia Bridges was last seen in the 400 block of West Jackson Street in Flint on September 8th. She's described as 5'5", 160 pounds with brown eyes and dark hair. She's believed to still be in the Flint area. Anyone with information on her whereabouts is asked to call the Flint Police Department or 911. Homecoming parades will cause road closures in Saginaw Township this afternoon. Here's WSGW's Jonathan Dent.
Parades for both Novell Catholic and Heritage High Schools will be making their way through town today. Lieutenant Jim Rich from the Saginaw Township Police Department.
Novell kicks off at 3:45, and we're anticipating that parade will be done prior to 4:30ish. And then after that one, we'll kick off the Heritage High School.
The first parade will begin at Novell Elementary at Breverovich and State Street before going north to Weiss Street, then moving west until it reaches Novell High School. The second will begin at Sherwood Elementary, then proceed west on Shattuck Road before turning onto Center Road to Heritage High School. Rich says that all major intersections on the routes will be closed during the parades. Jonathan Dent, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Saginaw Valley State University's Office of Military Student Affairs is partnering with the Alida E. Lutz Veterans Affairs Medical Center to host 0% Chance, a Soldier's Story of Hope, with guest speaker Jonathan Turnbull. The presentation will go through Major Turnbull's story as a U.S. Army veteran who survived a suicide bombing in Syria, which blinded and severely wounded him. After retiring in 2021, Turnbull wrote his book entitled 0% Chance. The free presentation will be held October 13th at SVSU's Malcolm Field Theater at 6 p.m. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
Hello, this is Carol Thomas, and I have my seminars coming up in Bay City on Wednesday, September 28th. They're going to be at the Courtyard by Marriott. I love presenting my seminars. There's so much information that people need to know. And the biggest comment I get after my seminars is I had no idea there was so much to learn. And honestly, I don't know where else people would get the information necessary to know, how do I protect my assets if I ever need a long-term care? How do I protect my assets if I ever need nursing home? What if my husband has a stroke and goes into a nursing home? Are we prepared to lose our life savings? I have been presenting seminars for over 20 years, and they always fill to capacity. And I think that's because people love the information that I'm able to present at the seminars. I talk about wills and trusts, the importance of them to get assets protected if you ever need nursing home care. Please call my office at 989-793-2300 to make a reservation. I promise you, you will not be disappointed if you come to one of my seminars.
Carol has added a noon seminar, so space is available for noon and 5 p.m.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. A new poll on the abortion rights proposal on the November ballot shows 64% support Proposal 3. The Epic MRA poll of 600 likely voters taken last week and early this week for the Detroit Free Press shows 59% say if the election were held today, they would vote yes, while 5% they were leaning toward voting for it. 27% say they oppose the proposal. 9% are undecided. Despite the survey numbers, opponents of the constitutional amendment say voters will reject abortion rights measures at the ballot box. A growing number of Detroit businesses are being saddled with skyrocketing costs. Here's Michigan News Network's Sandra McNeil.
In a new survey by Lending Tree, 81% of Detroit businesses say they're being hit with steep to moderate increases in the price they pay for goods and services. Over a quarter say it's gotten so tough, they're looking for new suppliers. Across the nation, manufacturers are being hit the hardest, 98% saying they're seeing moderate to large increases in supplier costs. Nearly half said they'd be looking for new suppliers within the next 6 months. The state where businesses are reporting the highest increase in supplier costs, Wisconsin. Sandra McNeil, the Michigan News Network.
As fall arrives, the Michigan State Police are putting out an annual warning, don't veer for deer. The Michigan State Police have tweeted out a video of dash cam footage of a herd of deer crossing a road in southwest Michigan. A deer leaps completely over the top of one vehicle in front of the squad car as another deer crosses in front of the officer. Police say it was only with quick reflexes the officer avoided a collision. Experts say if a deer runs out in front of your vehicle, keep the wheel straight and apply controlled braking. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Mostly sunny skies here for today with a high in the mid-60s. Winds out of the northwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tonight, mostly cloudy, a low near 49. By Saturday, a slight chance for rain showers here late. Partial sunshine develops, a high around 64. Then on Sunday, we'll have a chance for rain showers, mostly cloudy, and a high around 66. Monday, another chance for rain, cloudy skies, high of 61. And on Tuesday, still a chance for some rain showers again, cloudy skies, a high around 58. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast.
Currently, it's 47.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a very pleasant good morning again. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show for this Friday. Nice to have you with us here on WSGW. This is a good news, bad news kind of show for me today. Good news because I get to talk to one of my favorite people. Bad news because I won't get to talk to one of my favorite people after today unless I go down and visit her where she's going, which I might. We are talking about Ann Willams. Ann has been with us. This is her second stint, actually, here at WSGW. She's been the news director for a number of years now, but is retiring out of radio. And we say good morning to Ann Willams.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you?
You know, it's not an easy question to answer. I didn't think I was going to be emotional today, but already things have been hitting me.
Well, I think we should point out when you say that, I mean, this is not something you started yesterday.
No.
You've been in broadcasting
40 years this month.
40 years this month.
Mm-hmm.
And she's only 30 years old. I don't know how she did that, but
Yeah, I don't either.
and
Special
I'm
powers.
right that it's 2 stints here because you were here
Mhm.
for a number of years, and then
Mhm.
you went down and did some television,
Mhm.
and then you came back again.
Mhm.
And we all recognize it. We've done that before too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously the most important thing you've ever done is listen to the missus.
I would have to agree on that.
We'll talk about that. But what got you in radio in the first place? What got you into broadcasting and news and journalism?
It was really somewhat of an accident. Although in college, my actual major was French, but at one time I was going to have a double major in French and journalism. So I did take a lot of journalism courses in college, but didn't actually major in it. So after I left college, I was trying to figure out what to do. And a friend of mine was about to take a job in radio. She was actually a newspaper reporter for the old Saginaw News and had been approached about this job in radio. At our sister station currently, which is now KISS, it used to be WWWS. She decided not to take the job and called me and said, hey, you might be interested in this. And I was like, oh, they'd never hire me. I haven't done it before. I don't know anything. But much to my surprise, I was hired. That was in September of 1982, or actually August, when they first approached me. I think I started in September.
Did you start on what was then 3 Soul?
Mm-hmm, yes. And
I didn't remember that.
Yeah. I worked there for only
Couldn't
a
have been
few
very
months.
long. I was going to say,
From
couldn't have been very
September
long.
to around the first of the year, February of the following year. There was a reporter who used to work here by the name of Brent Williams.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Who I used to encounter out in the field covering news stories. And he said something to our general manager at the time, John Casey, who approached me about working here. I remember my first encounter with him was a lunch at Jacobson's. And
talk about days gone by.
Yeah. So that's how I started here in March of 1983. And I was here for 17 years and then 5 years in television news and then back here again in 2005. So 17 years, two 17-year
Two
stints.
17-year stints.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I know John has acknowledged your leaving.
He has acknowledged my
because there's
leaving.
a nice
And if he's
hunk
listening,
of flowers out
I
there.
don't know if
Probably
he's-
is.
John, if you're listening, thank you so much for those gorgeous flowers. You, as I was saying when I started, I didn't think I was going to be emotional today, but that was one of the things that got me going.
Yeah, well,
Thank you
by
so
the time
much.
we're done with this, well, no, anyway, seriously, folks, though, if you want to chat with Ann, you can give us a call at 989-752-6111. Now that I've done that, John, I expect the Caseys live on the East Coast now in the Carolinas, but John was here for a long, long time as our general manager.
Wonderful man.
And great fond memories of him.
Yes.
And
Those were the days.
Really fun because he hired you.
Yes.
So anyway, so what brought you to this point? Now, I mean, you've had a long career.
Mhm.
Without giving it away, she's at retirement age,
Mhm.
but you're not going to retire out of working, though, are you? You still
No.
need to work, don't you? You want to work.
Yeah.
When I say need to, you want to.
Well, both. But yeah, I'm going to be, I don't want to say specifically where I will be if that's okay.
Yeah,
but,
okay. I won't mention it then.
But I will be.
I think many of us already have, but that's all right.
Oh, okay. I will be doing something cooking related, since with my Listen to the Missus interest in cooking is obvious. And actually, I'm going to be working at a store, in sales, put it that way.
Yeah, well, you've been there, though. You've done it before.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
I actually did it simultaneously while working in radio. I actually sold gourmet cookware for 9.5 years. So I'm going to be doing that again.
We have a caller. This is Alan in Saginaw Township. Alan, good morning.
Morning, Art and Ann.
Hi, Alan.
Congratulations, Ann.
Thank you.
Assume that's in order, but mostly calling to say that we'll certainly miss you. You've been a class act, and that comfortable voice that we've heard for so many years, along with Art and all the others, of course. But we will miss you. Certain people are just kind of bedrocks, and you're always there, and it's comfortable knowing that, and always appreciate what you've done. So enjoyed meeting you a few times, and again, Karen and I wish you the very best, whatever you choose to do.
Thank you, Alan. I just realized who you were, and thank you so much for calling. That was so nice of you.
You're most welcome. Have a great day. More memories to be made and stored away here today, I'm sure. And just best wishes always.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alan.
Appreciate it very much, Alan.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Come back. We have a caller waiting. We will get to that call when we return after these notes.
It's Bourbon and Bacon at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, Saturday, September 24th. Don't miss Classic Rock Legends 38 specials. Enjoy an evening of tasty barbecue and bacon dishes from top local restaurants like House of Barbecue, the Macon Bacon Food Truck, and more. Plus a great lineup of bourbon cocktails to keep you rocking into the night. Bourbon and Bacon with 38 specials, September 24th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. For tickets and info, visit bourbonbaconfest.com.
This Luck of the Irish moment is sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. The past decade for author and screenwriter Delia Ephron has been tough. She lost both her sister and her husband, and she battled cancer. Now, she feels lucky to be alive.
When something like this happens where everything fits in some way that is just extraordinary, it just makes you wonder about life.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Rob tried to manage his constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating day after day.
After realizing it was irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, he found another way and finally said yes to adding Linzess.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
We're seeing a loss of more than 1% in the pre-market for all major benchmarks here in the U.S. as investors fret over the Fed's latest interest rate hike and possible recession worries. Football fans won't be hearing this anymore.
The National Football League welcomes you to the Pepsi Super Bowl 56 halftime show.
The National Football League saying Apple Music will now take over as a sponsor of its halftime show, replacing Pepsi as a key backer of the annual show. And some holdouts in Asia are opening their borders after tight pandemic controls. Hong Kong today saying it would abandon mandatory hotel quarantine for people coming to the city starting next week, following a similar move by Taiwan. Japan says it'll drop its daily limit on arrivals. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Smart businesses are always looking for ways to improve. Better workdays can start with Cintas. Your dedicated Cintas service reps help make sure you have what you need when you need it. We'll stock your essential cleaning products, deliver hygienically clean workwear, inspect your fire extinguishers, and provide first aid and safety supplies. Cintas is with you every step of the way, so you stay a step ahead. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
Now, a WSGW Morning Team Show memorable moment.
All right, a little political pick-on time. So let's play a game. The game is called, What If Sarah Palin Had Said That?
No.
I promise you that if Sarah Palin had said what we're going to play for you now, she may have moved Egypt off the front covers. Senator Chuck Schumer out of New York, who is discussing what the Republicans want to do when it comes to the budget concerns in the country. And he gets to a point in the conversation and then makes a reference to how our government is set up in three branches.
So I would urge my Republican colleagues, no matter how strongly they feel, we have three branches of government. We have a House, we have a Senate, we have a president, and all three of us are going to have to come together and give some.
We have a House, we have a Senate, and we have a president. Help me out here. And we got a legislative, we have a judicial, and I think it's called the executive.
Yes, you've got it.
I've got it? Right.
Yeah.
I can be a senator.
You can beat that one.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Back with you here on WSGW, in studio with me, Ann Willams, retiring today, her last day on the air here at WSGW. Russ is in Bay City. Russ, you're on with Ann. Good morning.
Good morning, Art and Ann, and congratulations, Ann.
Thank you.
I really do miss, I really enjoyed when you guys had the Listen to Mrs. show, and I wish you all the best in your new career.
Thank you so much.
And if I might suggest, it might give Art a new place to go for remote broadcast.
Who knows?
You never know,
it would be fun, I think. But
good idea.
I do wish you all the best, and it was nice having you on the air all these years.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Russ. Appreciate the call.
You take care now, and have a good life.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ann Willams, we're going to take a quick break here and come back and more calls, and we're going to talk about Listen to Mrs. when we return.
This segment of our Community's Care is brought to you by the Saginaw Community Foundation. For the month of September, Saginaw Community Foundation proudly spotlights the Be Well Saginaw 5K Race Walk, Family Fun Run, and Healthy Living Expo. Saturday, October the 1st, the fun run will begin at 9 a.m. at the Saginaw YMCA. Runners and walkers will start a fun and challenging 5K event along the river, concluding back at the Y. A family fun run follows at 10:30 a.m. through Ojibwe Island and back. Throughout the morning, participants, families, and the community will enjoy a free Healthy Living Expo, complete with vendors, games, yoga, demonstrations at Garber Courts, and activities for all ages. Stars will provide free transportation throughout select locations in Riverfront Saginaw, including the Saginaw Children's Zoo, Japanese Tea Gardens, the Junction, Woody's, and more. Registration is open and includes a free YMCA membership now through November, along with free race training on Monday nights. There's something for everyone. Saturday, October 1st at the YMCA. Be there. Be well. Visit BeWellSaginaw.org to register.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar. Pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Rob tried to manage his constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating day after day. After realizing it was irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, he found another way and finally said yes to adding Linzess.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
At Napa, when you take care of your ride, we take care of you. That's why a $25 digital gift card can be yours when you buy 10 quarts of Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic Motor Oil products at Napa Auto Parts. That's a reward for rewarding your ride and a way to treat yourself after treating your motor. So give your ride the premium motor oil it deserves and get rewarded in return. Offer ends 10/31/22. Void where prohibited. Terms apply. For complete details, visit pennzoil.com/rewards.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Art Lewis here for WSGW, inviting you to explore America's last frontier, Alaska, from August 30th to September 10th, 2023. You'll fly from Detroit to Fairbanks for a start of a 12-day land and sea adventure. Ride the stern wheel of discovery as you learn about Alaska's diverse culture and rich history. Then it's on to Denali National Park for a tundra wilderness tour. From Denali, you ride a luxury dome rail car to Talkeetna and stay at Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. The next day finds you driving to Whittier to board Holland America's New Amsterdam for a 7-night cruise. You'll see Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay, plus stops in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan before sailing the Inside Passage to your final destination of Vancouver, BC. Past experience tells us this will sell out fast. To find out more, plan on attending a Zoom meeting with Colette Vacations Ed McKenna on October 5th at 3:30 p.m. Send me an email to receive the Zoom link. Send your request to artlewis@wsgw.com. If you can't make the Zoom meeting, send your address and I'll forward a brochure to you. Send now to artlewis@wsgw.com. Alaska is calling.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. My guest in studio, her last day on the job here at WSGW, Ann Willams, retiring from broadcasting after a brilliant career of 40 years. And one of the things you did, which thrilled me to death, was listen to the Misses. I've done that show since the mid-'70s when it was around. And, of course, did it with Sue Smith for decades. And, and people leave and you go, oh, how are we going to replace Sue now? And along comes from our newsroom, Ann Willams, and we did it for a lot of years. What'd you think of that when you started doing Listen to the Misses? I mean, it's so different than what you do in the news department.
Well, I enjoyed it very much because I was, I'm a foodie. I enjoy cooking. I had worked in the cookware store. I'm into that sort of thing. So it was a natural for me to step into that, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a unique show. I mean, there weren't many around, and it kind of ran its course after I don't know how many years it was on, since 1952 or something like that. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that.
We did. We had went through a lot of food, a lot of recipes.
We did our restaurant tours for a while.
Restaurant tours, did TV, it was
a lot of fun.
Cook-offs. Yep. And it was so different for you. I mean, how do you prepare for that? You either have it or you don't have it.
No, not really. But, I had watched you and Sue for so many years, so I kind of knew how it went.
Well,
so
it was
I enjoyed it.
It was great. So you spent all these years in journalism, a lot of it behind the microphone anchoring as opposed to reporting. You did reporting early on.
And I still did
some now. Yeah, you did some
recently.
series, and it was good stuff. What'd you like most about it?
I guess that it was different every day. News, of course, is ever evolving, and news is just that new. So every day was something different, and meeting a lot of different kinds of people, some of the movers and shakers in the community was enjoyable. And I think, it just gave me a better understanding of my community and the world,
Yeah, we got some notes here. Willams said he'll miss you. And Ricardo, our former colleague,
spoke to him this morning,
is a gem and has given so much to not only WSGW, but the region, and has helped form me and the news reporter and adult that I am now. He made it to adult. All right. Good boy, Rick. And she is incredibly strong-willed, too, and a great mom. And, of course, you really have been in this community a long time because your dad was well known, wasn't he? Talk a little bit about your dad.
My dad was a dentist in Saginaw, actually the first African-American dentist in Saginaw, and practiced for many years until he had to stop in the early 80s. Around the time I started in radios when he stopped practicing.
He was well known.
Yeah, he actually served on the Saginaw Housing Commission for a while. He knew a lot of the.
And what was his name?
Dr. Charles Turpin.
And so you grew up. You're a Saginaw girl, right? I mean, literally.
I was not born in Saginaw. Born in Columbus, Ohio, where my mother was.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, my mother was from there, and but grew up here in Saginaw from the age of probably 3 or so. Spent the first 2 years of my life in England, actually, the UK, where my father was stationed in the army as a dentist.
Wow.
He and his brother entered the army as dentists.
His brother was a dentist, too.
Yes. And so is my cousin, his brother's son, who still practices in Pontiac. But they went into the army as dentists, and my uncle was stationed in Paris, my father in England, in an area of the country they call the Cotswolds. And we were there for a couple of years. And I don't remember any of that, of course, but
no, I know you.
But my parents always talked about it a lot when I was growing up, and
I know you majored.
There were memories of it around my house.
Majored in French in college. Did you spend any time in France?
Yeah, I studied. Actually, I spent my first birthday in France when that situation, when my father and my uncle were stationed over there. We went over to visit them for my first birthday. So I don't remember that. There are photos of it somewhere.
Weren't speaking French then.
No. But yeah, I did major in French. And so during the summer of 1977, I spent in studying in France and traveling around Europe a little bit.
What was it that attracted you to that language?
Probably the fact that the influence of my uncle and his family having lived over there. My cousins were a bit older, so they learned to speak a little French, and it was always kind of talked about and spoken in my uncle's home a little bit. And
you were wondering what they were saying.
I guess, but and then I just had an aptitude for language. I started taking it in high school and just really took to it, and it was my easiest subject, my favorite subject. And I just decided I wanted to pursue the study of it.
Let's say good morning to Errol in Saginaw. Errol, good morning.
Morning, Errol.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Je parle un peu.
No, she doesn't speak Canadian French.
Yeah, I know enough French, Anne, to know when they're talking about me. That's about all I know anymore. We are going to miss you. I really enjoyed the time we had the baking contest and everything else. But I want to know who's going to take care of keeping Art in line. Now that you're kind of leaving, you can't do that to us all at one time.
Well, I have to.
I
have to tell you now. Since I've been working from home most of the time, you can't blame me.
He came in for me today, though.
I did. I came in today.
Yeah, he's actually in the studio today.
Well, that's a first this year.
No, I was.
Anyways, I want to congratulate you, Ann. Thank you. We're wonderful to listen to and having our broadcast area. So enjoy your retirement.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Take care.
Thank you, Errol.
Bye-bye now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Now a guy who I have a tremendous amount of respect for. He worked here for a long time before moving east. And Cameron Knowles is on the phone this morning.
And good morning, Art. Good morning. How are you guys?
Hey, we're doing well.
Yeah, well, I saw this on Facebook this morning, and I absolutely wanted to call and say congratulations and wish you the best. Thank you for being a friend and a mentor over the years. I've just got the calculator out, and it's hard to believe it's been a hell of a long time since I met you. But I remember us working together when I was a part-time reporter back in 1989.
I remember too. I just come back from having my second child, I think.
Yeah. And your knowledge of the community and the newsmakers and background that you were able to share with me to help me get a quick start in my career and working the area that was new to me. I'll always remember that, and I really appreciate it.
Cameron, thank you so much. I'll always remember you. You were a great friend and a great colleague. And
he's, is he on the phone? I might as well embarrass him while he's on the phone. Cameron is one of those personalities you don't forget, no matter whether you knew him for 5 minutes or 5 years, you remember Cameron Knowles.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Absolutely.
You're very sweet. I appreciate that.
I think of you right now because tonight is the first preseason game at the Dow for the Saginaw Spirit, and the season starts October 1st. And we really miss seeing you around the barn, so to speak. Cameron went to work for the Spirit from the day they started.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I saw that pop up on social media the other day, and that was 20 years ago, and I worked with you both before that.
Yeah, the years roll by, don't they, Cameron?
Getting any younger, are we, Cameron?
Oh my gosh, yeah. But anyway, I was happy to hear about this, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Cameron, for calling. That's so nice of you.
Cam, great to talk to you.
Wonderful to hear from you.
Say hi if you're in the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cameron Knowles was a reporter here for a number of years, and then literally went to work for the Spirit.
And actually did a talk show here, too, for several years while you were gone.
That's right. He did. He did. He absolutely did. So that's, other than listen to the missus, that's something you haven't done your own talk show, have you?
No, but I did have to host for a couple of times by myself, which was totally new to me.
On the Misses.
Even after all these years in broadcasting, I had not done that. And on the Misses, yes, I'd had to host by myself a couple times, and it was challenging but fun.
Well,
Luckily, I had somebody with me. Pat was with me on those days.
Pat
and
was with you.
helped me
You
out.
could
Yeah,
fill in, but
Yeah.
it's, people don't realize it. When you do a talk show, you have to sit down assuming phones aren't going to ring, the
Yes.
guests aren't going to show up.
Yes, you have to have
and
something
you're
to talk
on your
about.
own.
Yes, exactly.
You are it.
Yes.
And do or die. That's what the old adage is.
Yeah.
It's kind of different. So journalism, you got to meet a lot of people. You got to interview a lot of people. Any of them stand out?
A few. One, and this is going to sound really strange, but do you remember June Lockhart, the actress?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Sure.
She was a guest one time at the Chamber lecture series that they used to have. I don't think it might still have.
Oh,
What is
Town
it called?
Talk.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And whenever they would have a guest, they would allow the media in to kind of do like a little news conference
Yeah,
with the person
sure.
beforehand. And at her news conference, June Lockhart, somebody mentioned this comedy show that was on the air at the time that was kind of a niche show that nobody thought she would know about, but she did. Somebody asked her what was her favorite thing on TV, and she said that particular show, which was in living color at the time, which is a very, a show you wouldn't think she would like, but she did. She and everybody just cracked up because nobody thought she would say that. But she's one of the Lennon sisters. Oh, I don't know.
Politicians.
Oh gosh, yeah.
A number of those, I would imagine, over the years.
Yeah, a number of those. At least a couple of presidential candidates.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, if you'd like to chat with Ann, her last day here at WSGW, 989-752-6111 would be the number to call. We'll take a break and come back and maybe do some more calls.
Are you maximizing every acre of your operation? How much yield and how many dollars might you be leaving out in the field? At Precision Planting, we believe in better. We believe we can all improve, and it's our goal to come alongside growers to help identify areas of opportunity and provide solutions that get the most of every aspect of crop production. We know you aren't satisfied with the status quo, and neither are we. From new technologies for your equipment to researching the latest crop production practices and inputs, we strive to not only provide the best products, but also to provide the best information possible to farmers around the world. You can learn more about Precision Planting, our products, and our mission at precisionplanting.com. That's precisionplanting.com. Precisionplanting.com. Or you can contact your local Precision Planting Premier dealer.
The kids are back to school, and your child's eye care is a vital part of performing well in the classroom. So getting a head start at the beginning of the year is very important. At Associates in Eye Care, they're not just giving your child glasses. They examine the entire visual and ocular system to detect, treat, and prevent visual disorders and ocular diseases. To make an appointment with Dr. Cox, Dr. Kazmarek, or Dr. Engel at their Saginaw or Hemlock locations, call 792-8686. Associates in Eye Care, caring for our patients as we would want to be treated.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well thought out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Start your next tiling job with professional quality tech installation products from Menards. We carry all the supplies for surface preparation, mortar, and mastics for any material, along with the grout or caulk color options to match any tile. Tech installation products are easy to use for any DIYer or contractor. Get 11% off tech installation products at Menards. Good through September 25th. Savings are mail-in rebates. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Mark your calendars for Our Kids World, Back to School Edition, Saturday, September 24th, 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. at Sarah Chevrolet Toyota of Saginaw. Free admission, fun games, prizes, food for purchase on site, and so much more. Powered by New Birth NBC in partnership with Diploma and Careers Institute. Plus, kick off the school year at the Kids Zone, sponsored by 906 Lapeer, featuring Saginaw Jelly Ball and bounce houses provided by Bouncing Bellas. Stop out to see our local first responders. Take a tour of the dental bus provided by Great Lakes Bay Health. Get your photo taken in the photo booth with I Heart Mac and Cheese. And don't forget to show your talent with karaoke under the entertainment tent. It's all happening at Our Kids World, Back to School Edition, Saturday, September 24th, 10 a.m. till 1 p.m., sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet Toyota of Saginaw and Francis Ray Academy. Special thank you to City Sewer Cleaners and all of our community partners.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
And we're back with you, chatting with Ann Williams, who is retiring from broadcasting effective today, and we will greatly miss her here at WSGW and Alpha Media, to say the least. If you look back at your career, Ann, anything you would have rather have done? Anything in life that you said, I really wanted to do this, but I didn't?
Well, I started out majoring in French, thinking I was going to do something in the travel industry.
I did that.
Yeah.
Don't regret it.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, something I wanted to work for airlines or something like that. Just didn't pan out.
Didn't pan out. Why? I mean, was it an accident that you moved into radio?
Yes.
Or it was, literally. So.
Well, I kind of explained it earlier when, I took some classes and, just had this person who called me about a job, and I applied for the job and got into it. So,
it stopped you from going to Air France or, whoever, Delta, whatever.
Well, I was at the point where I needed to have a job, so I needed to be doing something. So this fell in my lap, so I did it. You know what I mean?
Get in the way, doesn't it? It does get in the way. And you have always been a Saginaw girl.
Except for a few years early in my life. But yeah, in your life. But you're a Saginaw I
girl.
remember.
And you chose to stay here. You
probably don't know that I chose to stay.
Well, I don't know. You could have moved on. You could have, there were other opportunities, I'm sure, that could have come your way if you wanted them. Even in broadcasting, you probably could have applied elsewhere.
Maybe if I had done things differently in my life, then yes. But you make certain choices, and it has certain effects on where your life goes, and that's what happened.
Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? I mean, that literally. I backed into radio accidentally. Wasn't on my radar scope when I first got in the business at all. And things happen in your life, don't they? They just they do. And then you became a mom to wonderful kids, and it's a whole new life, isn't it? That tends to change our direction, doesn't it? I know it.
Yes,
did me.
Well, that's kind of what I was alluding to when I said things happen. So yeah, it worked out as it was supposed to, So.
And here we sit today, and after 40 illustrious years,
seen a lot of changes over the years, of course, in the business. When I started out, we were using typewriters and cassette tapes,
and yeah, that's right. Yeah. Now it's all digital. Now it's almost scary digital. I mean, everything is digital today.
Yeah,
it changed the news.
Still
too.
evolving. Oh yeah,
and still is.
Yeah.
Still is. It has but news in itself. Yeah, the media has taken a lot of hits lately, particularly the national media. But local journalism really is still. It's all about local, isn't it? It's all about what happens here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a dying art, unfortunately.
That's what I was going to say. Not as many outlets for that anymore, but it's still very important to people, I think.
I think it is. And we're glad that we can still provide that service. And but it's unfortunate, I think, because at one time journalism was, well, you turn on the radio to get immediacy, and then you watch television and see the pictures of what happened, and then in the evening you read the newspaper to get all the little details that we couldn't do on radio and television. That's totally changed now.
Yeah, now we have information coming at us from many directions.
Yeah, and not all of it verifiable. What's your reaction to social media? Do you participate in it?
I participated in it to a minimal extent. I'm not on all the platforms. A little bit of Facebook, but not. I don't really post hardly. I do just kind of watch it to keep up with other things and other people. I do scroll Twitter. I don't tweet, but I scroll Twitter because I find it to be a good news,
source.
And that's about it for me. I see TikTok videos that kind of pop up on other social media, but I'm not on TikTok. I think it's had some positive and negative effects, which you could say about the whole digital evolution. It's made a lot of aspects of life much easier, and it's expanded our access to information. It's made it easier to keep in touch with people. It used to be, somebody moved away, you might, never hear from them again. Now you can keep in touch, or with your far-flung relatives. That's a wonderful thing. But on the other hand, people, hide behind social media to be negative, and I think it's made us more coarse as a society.
I fully agree. Absolutely.
People are not afraid to say things they would have kept to themselves.
They do it anonymously.
Yeah, they do it anonymously, and I think that's not a good thing at all. Yeah. And I'm grateful that my children are older and I don't have to raise young children in this age, because wow,
yeah,
it's a lot to try to shield them from and guide them through.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you step away from the microphone at your close of shift today, and you leave the broadcasting industry, you're a news junkie. I mean, let's face it, you do news day in, day out.
Oh, I'll still be
and
paying
will
attention.
You still be a news junkie?
Oh, yeah, I'll still be paying quite a bit of attention. That's just in my system now, and I think that'll be the case forever.
But the stress of having to come in and do it every day is gone, right?
Exactly. Not have to worry about it.
Which is the big thing, isn't it? I mean, it really is. So I know you wanted to be in the travel industry. Is travel in your future? With a new career and everything?
I hope so. I don't have any specific plans, but I would love to. There are many places on my bucket list. I'll say that. So.
France being one of them, so you can use your education.
Well, I would like to go back to Paris before I die. Yes, sure. Would love to go back to France and many other places too. So
you still remember a lot of French?
Quite a bit, yeah. When I get going, I don't have a chance to practice very much, but when I get with a native speaker, it's a good opportunity to practice, and I enjoy that. So if I ever run across somebody one time, sometimes I'll get brave enough to try to use my French, and it's funny, and it comes back. It comes back usually.
So what are you going to miss most about coming in and sitting behind a microphone? And what are you going to miss the least? Ooh.
I really haven't thought about that. Probably election nights I will miss the least because they are long and arduous.
Yeah, true.
That's one. And what I will miss the most is probably the people I work with, my colleagues here in the building.
Well, what can I say? I mean, it's that time when I'll speak for the colleagues in the building. Anne is just a joy to be with because of her personality, because of her talent, because of her intelligence, and I'll say it because of her beauty. I've known Anne a long, long time through both of her stints here at WSGW, and admired her work ethic, admired her lifestyle and who she is, her character. And I could go on, but I'll stop now. Otherwise, she'll be in tears. I just, I can't tell you how much of a pleasure it's been working with you, Anne. It's. I don't have the words to justify how good it's been.
Thank you so much. Very nice of you to say.
You are a sweetheart, someone I will treasure knowing forever. And I might have to buy your products just to come down and see you.
Well, thank you so much for saying that. That's very sweet of you. And thank you to everybody, to all the listeners, for your loyalty to the station and for listening to our news. And it's been a pleasure meeting many of you out in the field now and then. And I've enjoyed it. So I'm still around.
Well, Godspeed for many, many, many more years of happiness. And we'll miss you, but we'll see you.
Yeah, I'm around. Thank you.
Ann Williams, ladies and gentlemen, her last day on the job here at WSGW. Wanted to have this chance to chat with her and wish her well in the future. We'll be back to close out after these notes.
Hello, this is Kevin from Applied Training Solutions in the Midland Mall. We are Mid-Michigan's premier CPL academy. Our instructors teach the fundamentals of self-defense in a friendly environment using state-of-the-art video simulation tools and a live fire range to help you build self-defense skills and learn proper technique. Visit our website, simu-range.com, simu-range.com to book your training session today. Use code RADIO25 to save $25. Applied Training Solutions, forward thinking, on target training.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
Carl came in on Monday upset because his truck needed more repairs. I completely understand because that's his livelihood. He was ready for something new. So I took him in my office right away and I was able to approve him for an auto loan. He was very happy to be able to leave with that check in his hand to go pick up his vehicle. He even came back a few hours later just to thank me and show me his new truck. I love being able to turn around someone's day.
Knowing members by name, going the extra mile to help them save money, understanding when they really need help. That's Wildfire Credit Union. It's what we do every day. Find out for yourself. Call 800-227-2328. Click on wildfirecu.org or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hello, I'm Mike Percha, the editor of the WSGW newsletter. Every weekday, I help coordinate the local Saginaw, Bay City, and Midland news being sent directly to your inbox. It's free and will help keep you in touch with the Great Lakes Bay region. To get the WSGW newsletter, sign up online at WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, and click on the WSGW newsletter sign up box. And please let your family and friends know how easy it is to sign up for the WSGW newsletter.
WSGW is your station for the Tigers.
Big pitch here for Gregory Soto. Swinging the ground ball to short. Fielded by Baez to Clemens. Over to Castro at first. Tigers win. Gregory Soto hits the game-ending double play.
Tigers Baseball, brought to you in part by Ed Raymond's in Chesaning, Stan's Gold Mine, Schaefer and Beer Line in Frankenmuth. All season long, Detroit Tigers Baseball is on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for this Friday. Thanks for being with us. Thanks, Dan Williams, for being with us. Mark Thomas and Clay Bird, too, for joining us in the first hour. We're going to move on now. We're going to chat about Michigan sugar with a couple of guests on Focus. All of that coming up right after the news here on WSGW. We'll talk to you then.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by General Steel.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Voting is underway in Russian-held regions of Ukraine on whether those areas should become part of Russia. Ukrainian officials say it's a bogus attempt by Vladimir Putin to annex them. CBS's Mary Ilushina.
Once these territories are added to the Russian Federation, he will consider potentially any attack on these lands, as an attack on Russia.
An independent commission set up to look into human rights violations in Ukraine is out with its first report. Correspondent Cami McCormick has the details.
In Geneva, an independent commission into war crimes is underway. The Ukrainian representative.
8 months of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine made the international community witness to the atrocities not seen on our continent for decades.
The Russians did not attend the session, which the president of the council called deplorable. The head of the commission of inquiry said evidence gathered so far has concluded war crimes have been committed.
Border checkpoints around Russia are filled with young men trying to leave the country to avoid Putin, called up hundreds of thousands of civilians to join the fight. A new tropical depression is churning in the Atlantic. CBS meteorologist David Parkinson says people in Florida and on up the East Coast should keep an eye out.
Just formed this morning, and it is likely to impact Florida as early as Tuesday. Landfall likely coming on Wednesday somewhere in Florida.
Hurricane Fiona is now a Category 3 storm hundreds of miles off the Carolinas after slamming into Bermuda overnight. The system is expected to bring strong winds, heavy rainfall, and flooding to provinces in eastern Canada this weekend. An NBA coach may be moving on soon.
Wild comeback here for the Celtics.
Boston holding a news conference this hour after suspending Ime Udoka for the season over a reported consensual relationship with a female staffer. The coach has apologized for letting everyone down, but fans aren't so forgiving.
You should have known better. What's wrong with you?
We've been waiting like 10 years to get back to the finals. We finally get there, and they suspend our head coach for the entire season.
Analysts predict Udoka could get snatched up by another team. And a tennis great plays his last match of his professional career today. Roger Federer says injuries have taken a toll.
We're at an intersection here at a crossroad, and you have to take a turn. Which way is it? And I was not willing to go into the direction of let's risk it all.
Federer, who's 41 now, teaming up with Rafael Nadal for a doubles match at the Laver Cup in London. They face Americans Jack Sock and Francis Tiafoe. Dow down 427. This is CBS News.
If you're a business owner renting or leasing, you can save a ton of money and own a custom-designed building made by General Steel. Just call 877-25-STEEL and get a quote today.
Prices are out of control. Michigan needs leaders like Annette Glenn to rebuild our economy and get Michigan back on track. When historic flooding ravaged our community, Annette Glenn was our champion. She stepped up to serve our families, brought Democrats and Republicans together, delivering millions in critical flood relief, restoring our community. Annette works with both parties to get results for Mid-Michigan, and she always works for us, not the special interests. That's why Annette Glenn is fighting to slash the wasteful spending and stop inflation, cut taxes for working families and small businesses. And Annette will continue to support every child's right to a safe, quality education. Annette Glenn for State Senate, working hard for hard-working families. Paid for with regulated funds by the Senate Republican Campaign Committee, authorized by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 54 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. A septic company in Coleman is missing one of its pump trucks. Police say the septic pump truck, property of Kevin Burns Septic Tank Service, was stolen last Friday or Saturday. The truck wasn't noticed to be missing until Monday when the owners went to take it for a job. The truck had about 2,500 gallons of human waste in it at the time it was taken. A witness told police they saw the truck in Sanford on Saturday with an unknown person driving it. Police are asking anyone with information about the missing truck to call 911. After a successful petition drive, residents of Cuckolin will vote on a proposal to allow recreational marijuana businesses in the township during the November 8th election. Proponents of the ballot initiative are holding a town hall meeting Wednesday at 7 p.m. at Cuckolin Township Hall. They say that for existing businesses, it would be as simple as changing what tags are used on the plants and products, and that the change could bring additional state funding to Cuckolin of up to $56,000 per adult use cannabis retailer. The Michigan Manufacturers Association recently honored State Senator Ken Horn as the association's 2022 Legislator of the Year. Horn was presented with the award for his commitment to pro-job and pro-skilled trade efforts as a legislator. The senator serves as the chair of the Senate's Small Business and Economic Development Committee and has sponsored or worked on a number of policies aimed at helping grow the state's economy, train Michigan workers, and solidify Michigan as a leader in manufacturing. Horn was recognized by MMA representatives and other state and local leaders during the association's legislative reception on September 14th. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
You have a family doctor. Do you have a family plumber? When you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling problem happen in your home or business, you need to be able to call a professional that you can rely on and trust to make the repair or equipment replacement. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been the professional homeowners and businesses trust for 65 years. Whether you're looking for an emergency water heater replacement or planning a new heating system installation, you can trust Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to provide quality service and installation. Reamer has the equipment to fit every budget, experienced estimators, and state licensed technicians to install. Trust a professional to do the job right. Call Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Visit them on the web at reamerplumbing.com.
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. A Michigan man accused of killing another man and hanging the victim's mutilated body from a ceiling has pleaded guilty to murder. Mark Latunsky appeared in Shiawassee County Court Thursday, nearly 3 years after 25-year-old Kevin Bacon was killed. A judge will hold a hearing October 18th to determine if the case will be classified as first-degree or second-degree murder. First-degree murder carries a mandatory sentence of life in prison. Defense attorney Marriott Chartier was interested in pursuing an insanity defense at trial. She says she doesn't believe a guilty plea was in Latunsky's best interest. Latunsky initially was found mentally incompetent to stand trial, but that status changed after treatment. With the Federal Reserve raising interest rates this week, what impact did that have on interest rates for home buyers or home sellers? Hall Financial founder and CEO David Hall says not much.
The market had already priced in the fact that the Fed was going to raise, so it was sort of a non-event. In fact, mortgage interest rates got a little bit better yesterday on the news, got a little bit worse today, but just generally speaking, it hasn't moved mortgage interest rates a lot because the market knew that it was coming. In fact, I think the market thought they might raise a full point
Hall believes the Fed will raise rates again in November, which he says could make the housing market a buyer's market after being a seller's market for the past 2 years. The sad story from Michigan's Upper Peninsula regarding a rare white-colored bear that was spotted earlier this month. Members of a Facebook group that had been tracking the bear say they found the remains of what they believe is the bear, although the State Department of Natural Resources hasn't confirmed it. Photos of the white black bear drew worldwide attention after the animal was spotted on trail camera. Members of the group say wolves have been decimating the big game population in the UP. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1110. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Mostly sunny skies here for today with a high in the mid-60s. Winds out of the northwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tonight, mostly cloudy, a low near 49. By Saturday, a slight chance for rain showers here late. Partial sunshine develops, a high around 64. Then on Sunday, we'll have a chance for rain showers, mostly cloudy, and a high around 66. Monday, another chance for rain, cloudy skies, high of 61. And on Tuesday, still a chance for some rain showers again, cloudy skies, a high around 58. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 51.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. Focus brought to you by RoofMax, a safe, proven, and affordable alternative to shingle roof replacement, asphalt shingle roof replacement. You can find out more about it online at getroofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751 and ask about RoofMax. Remember, RoofMax is spelled with 2 X's. Today we've got a sweet show for you because we're going to talk about the Michigan Sugar Company with a couple of very special guests in studio with me. First of all, we say good morning to the Chief Operating Officer of Michigan Sugar, Jim Ruhlman. Jim, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being with us this morning. And from the Human Resources Department, which is a very busy department at this time of year, we say good morning to Jeff Adamo.
Yep. Good morning, Art. Thanks for having us.
You bet. All right, so I guess we need to start with the crop because nothing happens without it. So what's the crop going to look like this year, in your opinion, Jim?
The crop looks good. I think we're looking at yields around 30 tons per acre. To us, that might be a little bit off of our target, but it's a good crop. We had dry weather this summer. We're seeing the crop in excellent health. Yields are a little bit less than maybe what we expected, and sugar percent is a little bit stagnant right now with the drier weather and the warm weather. But we've got some cooler temperatures on the way, and we're hoping that within the next 4 weeks or 30 days, our sugar climbs and we'll have a respectable sugar.
So the beets that are in the ground that haven't been harvested yet, you can still increase the sugar content, weather permitting, of course?
We can. With some sunshine and cooler weathers, we can increase sugar pretty dramatically. So we're at about a 16.8% sugar right now on average with beets going through our lab right now. And, we're trying to get to that 18% sugar. That might be a little bit of a stretch this year, but there's still room to climb.
So in terms of overall production for a year, when you say you're at 16.8% versus 18%, if you stayed there versus the 18% down the road, how many tons of sugar does that represent?
Oh, that's a tough question off the top of my head, actually. We produce a target of about 11 million hundredweight of sugar annually. And if we decline a full point, that's a significant decrease in sugar production.
At one time, correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, Was there not a federal limit on how much of your sugar you could sell? And that went away, right?
Yeah, it did. We do have marketing allotments with the current farm bill and trade organizations. We are allowed to sell all the sugar that we produce. There's some provisions in there that allow us to do that, but we still have some guidelines and some controls in there. But for the most part, we can sell all of our sugar every year.
And are you still fighting cheap sugar coming across the border?
We're really not really right now. I think we're in a good position from a trade standpoint and an import standpoint. Really, the sugar market is very, very good right now, which bodes well for our growers and the returns that they receive.
Jeff, it takes people to do it. It takes people to slice it, to bag it, to do all of those things.
Sure does.
And we all know that a lot of businesses are crying for help these days. How's the sugar industry doing, and particularly Michigan sugar?
Our entry-level positions for our factories, we still have a lot of opportunities for employees or for people that want to come to work, but we're off to a pretty good start staffing our factories. But again, we still have several openings for individuals.
Do you have a lot of repeaters, people that work for you year after year and then go off in the summer and do something else and come back?
Yep, we sure do. And our seasonal campaign workforce, I'd say about 70 to 80% of those folks return each year for us.
So you have a base going in then?
We sure do. Yep.
So what types of jobs are we talking about? When we say working in the sugar factory, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so our general labor position really is an entry-level position that assists with the process. A lot of shoveling and sweeping hot water, cleaning the place, making sure that it's set to run. But we have several positions even beyond that. Michigan Sugar is a heavy STEM company. We have engineering positions. We have several skilled trade opportunities and all the different trades.
Some of those full-time?
Yes. Yep, they sure are. Those positions would be full-time. A lot of our STEM positions, engineering, with skilled trade apprentice programs, opportunities for employees to advance once they come in the door.
At the high point of the season, how many employees are we talking about?
Seasonal employees or
total?
About 1,900.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How many factories is that?
That would be 4 factories and then some other sugar storing and loading facilities.
That's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many are full-time?
About 950.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
This is, I don't think I didn't, and I've been here a long time. I just didn't realize the scope of the operation. It's huge.
Yeah, the scope of the operation is big from an employment standpoint, but it's even bigger when you take in 900 farm families in the thumb of Michigan
that
own it. So the scope gets very large when you include our grower shareholders as well.
All right, we're going to take a break, come back. We're talking to our guest from Michigan Sugar. More ahead on Focus.
The Michigan Antique Festival and Vintage Market is back. This Saturday and Sunday, September 24th and 25th, the Midland County Fairgrounds will feature 80 acres of treasures and memories ready for you to explore. High-quality dealers selling antiques, collectibles, crafts, coins, sports memorabilia, vintage jewelry, and just cool stuff that you won't find anywhere else. Check out the Taste of Michigan building with unique treats from all across the state. And car collectors, or would-be car collectors, bring your classic car or shop for one at our for sale lot. The Midland Antique Festival features one of Michigan's longest-running car shows. The first 300 cars get a dash plaque. Looking for car parts or outdoor power toys? Visit the huge swap meet. Nearly 1,000 antique dealers will be at the fairgrounds. So should you. Admission is just $10. Parking is free. Children 11 and under are free. If you're looking for a unique event that has something for everyone, be sure to check out the Michigan Antique Festival at the Midland Fairgrounds September 24th and 25th. Visit miantiquefestival.com.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you, always.
I just had a conversation with a member who lives near Traverse City. Mildred has been a member with Wildfire in some way, shape, or form for over 50 years. Wildfire is her preferred financial institution. Same for her daughter who lives in Connecticut. Neither one of them has ever stepped foot in any of the Wildfire branches. Yet they both receive a level of service to rave about. It just goes to show you that it doesn't matter where you live, Wildfire is here for you.
being the trusted resource for your finances, delivering marvelous experiences no matter where you are. That's Wildfire Credit Union. It's what we do every day. Find out for yourself. Call 800-227-2328. Click on wildfirecu.org or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you, always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
Your WSGW online poll about healthcare in America, the poll from the Associated Press and ORC Center for Public Affairs Research. A majority of adults say healthcare is not handled well in these United States.
Oh, really?
Breaking news
Amazing.
there.
Wow. How did they arrive at that conclusion?
And this includes access to doctors, clinics, hospitals, healthcare for older adults, costs overall. Specifically, prescription costs were involved in this poll too. And the solutions were pretty general. Needing more federal government involvement, needing more private involvement, or needing more of a mix of both. Essentially, a lot of what's already happening today, isn't it? You'd say so? So the poll question is basic. What would you say about healthcare and how it's handled in America? Would you say it's handled well? Would you say it's handled poorly? Or do you think, it's handled good in some ways, but bad in the others? We want you to vote. You head to WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, and make your vote that way.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW. From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
Hi, we're back with you on Focus in studio with me. Jim Ruhlman, he is the COO of Michigan Sugar, and Jim Adamo, who is in Human Resources. I forgot to ask you this, Jeff, and I want to, if someone is interested in a position with Michigan Sugar, what do they do?
They have a couple different options. One of the easiest options is to go to michigansugar.com. /careers, and they can see all of our current openings that we have, and you can if they have access, they can apply online that way. If they don't, they can call 877-417-8427 to get more information on where to go and how to apply. So those are the two main ways. We've also been pretty active with our partner Michigan Works and hosting career fairs, and so we will be advertising those. And if they hear about them, they can come in for immediate interview and hire opportunities.
And we should point out, while right now there are a lot of seasonal positions open.
Yes, there are.
There are a lot of full-time positions. So, I mean, applying year-round is possible, right?
Absolutely.
Probable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Exactly. Yes.
Jim, let me ask you, the Flegenheimer name has been associated with Michigan Sugar for a long, long time. Mark Flegenheimer, the current CEO, has announced a retirement, but not date certain, right?
Correct.
How has it changed with Mark backing away from some duties, and how will that change the complexion of the company with the Flegenheimer name not associated when it happens?
It's going to change a lot. I mean, I've been with the company since 1983. When I joined, Mark's father, Ernest, was the president. So I had the opportunity to see his leadership in action, and I've worked for Mark for the better part of 25 years. So their legacy is extremely strong in the sugar industry, even nationally, and especially here in Michigan. So it's going to change dramatically.
Already has for you. He's a pretty good delegator, isn't he?
Well, I mean, in my new role, I have responsibility for more of the day-to-day. But my respect for that family and the legacy that they've had and their contributions and their impact on the sugar industry nationally and especially here, in Michigan at Michigan Sugar Company, we just hope we can carry on some of the great traditions that they've left, and they've certainly established a wonderful foundation for our growers and our employees here at Michigan Sugar Company.
Through the good times and sometimes the not so good times.
Yep.
But they've got it now where it literally is a grower-owned business, isn't it?
It is a grower-owned business. It's quite honestly, Art, it's the best structure that we've had since I think we've been in business. Our grower shareholders are, I've said it before and I'll say it again, they're world class, and their interest in their stewardship of growing a crop and taking care of their land, and their interest in making sure our facilities are upgraded, and their interest in making sure employees and growers both are taken care of, is a culture that is just very, very refreshing and proud to be part of. So
in recent times, you made some significant investments.
We have. I mean, I was just looking at our capital this morning, and over the last 3 years, I think we've had $42 million, $37 million, and $25 million invested in our facilities over the past 3 years. This coming year is going to be a little bit lighter, but when you look at the contributions and the investments in our facilities made by our growers, it's significant.
Well, Jeff, let's leave them again with information on how to apply, or at least find out what positions are available at Michigan Sugar.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. So michigansugar.com/careers if you want to go online to do it, and it has a listing of all of our open positions, not only seasonal but year-round positions. If they want to know where they can go to apply in person for a seasonal job, they can call 877-417-8427.
Listen, guys, thanks for coming in this morning, Jim. Pleasure.
It's been a pleasure for us. Thank you for having us,
Jeff.
Art.
Let's do it again down the road. See how the sugar season is going.
All right.
Thank you.
How sweet it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. We'll be back.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Moments like seeing my son's team cheer him on mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
All right, that will pretty much wrap it up for this edition of Focus, brought to you by RoofMax. GetRoofMax.com, RoofMax with 2 X's. Time to move over to Baird & Company, find out what's happening in the marketplace today with our ticker tip of the day, and Dave Anderson. David, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing well. How are the markets doing?
Well, unfortunately, the markets may be having a worse week than Adam Levine as they're retesting their June lows. We've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 456 points at 29,618, volume of 378 million shares. We've got the NASDAQ down 198 points at 10,868 on volume of 376 million shares.
I can't wait to hear your ticker tip for the day.
All right, today's tip. As we wish Ann a happy and prosperous retirement, today's tip is about risk in retirement. We spend a lot of time talking about risk, stock risk, inflation risk, bias risk, etc. This makes sense in an uncertain world. Risk management is key to both investing and financial planning. What generally isn't spoken about enough is the risk of outliving your money or longevity risk. People are living longer than ever, and many even have wealth ambitions beyond their lifetimes. Despite this, those in or approaching retirement are often ill-prepared to deal with longevity risk, in large part because retirees are usually underinvested in stocks. Whether due to the old rule of thumb, 100 minus your age is your percentage allocation to stock, or just fear of losing money, many end up underinvested in equities. Though allocating more to stocks later in life may feel uncomfortable, particularly during downturns like we're currently experiencing, running out of money in your 90s is an unacceptable outcome.
And how do they get some help from you to avoid that circumstance?
Well, you can give us a call here in Saginaw at 790-5724 and in Midland at 839-9035.
All right, David, have a great weekend.
You as well. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye now. David Anderson at Baird & Company. We thank him for joining us with our ticket tip of the day. We're going to move over for the Farm Show now with Farm Director Terry Henney.
Hello, this is Kevin from Applied Training Solutions in the Midland Mall. We are Mid-Michigan's premier CPL academy. Our instructors teach the fundamentals of self-defense in a friendly environment using state-of-the-art video simulation tools and a live fire range to help you build self-defense skills and learn proper technique. Visit our website, simu-range.com, simu-range.com, to book your training session